Hi, fourth graders. Today we're looking at Module 1, Lesson 14, and our target for today is to use place value understanding to decompose or break down to smaller units using standard subtraction algorithm. And if you don't understand what that means, we're still just subtracting using place values by breaking down into smaller units. Now, what does that look like? Well, we know when we practice with our place value charts that whenever we have 10 of a smaller unit, so right here, let's say we have 10 ones, those 10 can be grouped to make one more unit, or one unit that is bigger. So in this case, 10 ones equals 110. The same thing would be if I had 10 tens, it'll be 100, and 10 hundreds equals 1,000. Now, what we're talking about, or when we're talking about decomposing, we're going to break something down. So instead of going from the right side to the left, we're going to go from the left side to the right. And it looks like this. If we have 300s right here, sorry, and I want to see how many tens I can, if I need to take some tens, I can decompose this 100, and in turn, that would turn into 10 tens. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and that's going to be important for when we're doing our subtraction, because sometimes you're going to see that we cannot take away, let's say we can't take 7 away, or we can't do 2 minus 7 because there's not enough. So we're going to try to see how we can do that using our bigger numbers. So here are the problems that we're going to work on in your blue math journal. And you can take this time to pause the video to copy them down if you don't have your blue math book. Or you can look for lesson 12. Okay? Oh, not 12. 14. Lesson 14. Okay? So take this time, pause, and then we will get started, okay? All right. So we're going to look at our 3 problems, and we're going to try to determine, do we need to borrow, or are we able to, or do we need to decompose, or are we able to subtract? So looking at 1a, we have 0 minus 0. So I know that means it's going to be 0. But then we have 6 minus 7, and if we think that's 6 tens minus 7 tens, we can't take 7 away from 6. So we're going to have to decompose one of our hundreds. So if that's 4 hundreds, I'm going to decompose one of those to make 10 tens. So that means we're going to have one of these become a 3 because we're taking 100. Okay, and we're going to add 10 to our unit. So we're going to have 10 plus 6 equals 16. So now we're going to have 16 minus 7, that equals 9. Then we have 3 minus 3, that equals 0. There's our commas. And then 2 minus 1 equals 1. Okay. Now we're going to move on to 1D. We have 0 minus 2. Okay, we can't take away 2 when there's nothing. So remember, if there's 0 ones, we can move over to our tens place. There are 6 tens here. I'm going to borrow or decompose one of those tens. So 6 minus 1 equals 5. And we're going to add 10 to this unit. So 10 plus 0 equals 10. So now I can go 10 minus 2. That equals 8. So then now I have the next row, 5 tens minus 7 tens. Well, I can't do that. Okay? So I'm going to have to borrow a set of tens from our hundreds. So if there are 4 hundreds, I'm going to take one of those hundreds, so it becomes 3 hundreds now. And that 100 will become an additional 10 tens. So if I'm adding 10 here, 10 plus 5 equals 15. So now I can do 15 minus 7, and I get 8. Now I'm looking here in the hundreds. 300s minus 400s. Well, I can't take 400s from 300s. So I'm going to have to decompose our thousands. So I'm going to take one of those. So 2 minus 1 equals 1. And I'm going to add 10 hundreds to our 300. So that becomes 13. So now 13 minus 4 equals 9. And then I have 1,000 minus 1,000 equals 0. So I don't have to put anything. So I want you to try out 1G on your own. And then, so you're going to pause it, you're going to try it out, and then come back and see if you got it right, okay? All right, so we're going to come back. I'm going to go through this kind of quickly because I want to make sure the video is not going too long, okay? I cannot take 7 from 6. I can't borrow from the 0, and I still can't borrow from that 0. So now I'm all the way into thousands. I'm going to decompose one of these thousands, so that's going to become 3 thousands to get 10 hundreds. And then now I can decompose one of those, so I'm going to take, that's going to be 9 to get 10 tens. Then I can decompose one of those tens, so that's going to be a 9 to add 10 ones, which would be 10 plus 6, it's 16. 16 plus 7, that equals 9. 9 minus 1 equals 8. 9 minus 1 equals 8. Comma. 3 minus 1 equals 2. 2 minus 2 equals 0. 1 minus 1 equals 0. So these are our answers. Okay? We're going to try out a story problem now. This is number 2. Okay? This one reads, there are 86,400 seconds in one day. If Mr. Ligel is at work for 28,000 seconds a day, how many seconds a day is he away from work? So we're going to break it down. So we have from here, there are 86,400 seconds in one day. So we are going to draw our whole day. So I'm going to draw a day. And I'm going to draw all of this, and this is going to be 86,400. Okay? Now it says, if Mr. Ligel is at work for 28,800 seconds in a day, oops, I'm not going to draw right there. So now we're going to know part of this day, when Mr. Ligel's at work, we have a total of 28,800. Okay, how many seconds a day is he away from work? So we need to figure out, all right, this is work. We need to figure out this number. So if we look at that, we could see 28,800 plus a variable equals 86,400. Now we can turn this into a subtraction problem to help us see what this missing number is, okay? So we're going to take our total at the end. So we're going to have 86,400. And we're going to subtract what we know, 28,800. Okay? Now you should be able to subtract it and figure out the answer. Pause the video, give it a shot, and then press play to check your work. All right, welcome back. So we're going to check our work. 0 minus 0 equals 0. 0 minus 0 equals 0. 4 minus 8, I can't do that. I'm going to decompose one of our 6,000s to make it 5,000s and add 10 hundreds. So now we have 14 minus 8, that equals 6. 5 minus 8, I can't do that. I got to decompose one of these. So if I take 1 away, that's going to be a 7. I'm adding 10, so that becomes 15. So now 15 minus 8 equals 7, and 7 minus 2 equals 5. So remember, we're still doing RDW. We need to write a sentence for our answer. So here we have to answer How many seconds a day is he away from work? Mr. Ligel is away from work for 57,600 seconds. Okay? All right. We had some time for number 3, but it's just another practice. If you'd like to stop watching right now and move on to your assignment, you can go for it. If you want a little bit more practice, you can stay on here and continue practicing with me. All right? So, our problem reads, a newspaper company delivered 240,000 newspapers before 6 a.m. on Sunday. There were a total of 525,600 newspapers to deliver. How many more newspapers needed to be delivered? Okay, so we know that a newspaper delivered 240 newspapers, or the company that delivered 240,000 newspapers, okay? So delivered, that equals 240,000, okay? And then we have a total. That equals 525,600. So if we know how much was delivered, all of the remaining newspapers are not delivered. So I'm just gonna do it in brown. So right here, these are not delivered. Okay? So what can we do to figure out how many were delivered or how many were not delivered yet and needed to be delivered? Well, we're going to take our total. So we have 525,600, and we're gonna take away how much was delivered. So 240,000. Okay, pause the video, see if you can do your subtraction, and come back once you're ready. All right, welcome back. So we're gonna check our math, okay? 0 minus 0 is 0, same there. 6 minus 0 is 6. 5 minus 0 is 5. 2 minus 4, well, we can't do that. So if we have 2 10,000s minus 4 10,000s, we're gonna decompose one of our 100,000s. So we're gonna have 4 left and add 10 to our 10,000. So 10 plus 2 equals 12. 12 minus 4 equals 8. And 4 minus 2 equals 2. So then now we can write out our sentence. If we're trying to answer how many more newspapers needed to be delivered, we can say 285,600 newspapers needed to be delivered. Okay? And that's it. That's our examples. Hope you did well. If not, let me know. I can make another video to show how it all works using our place value chart. But I think we can do some subtraction without needing to do that, okay? If you need it, let me know. Otherwise, good luck.